Happy Friday. How you doing? Well, it's been an interesting week, to say the least. How was your Valentine's Day? Hope you had a good Valentine's Day. I did what I do every year. I had to do it a little bit different though this year. I give the women in my life a dozen roses each. Auntie Billy got a dozen roses. My daughter Brittany got a dozen roses. My daughter Chelsea got a dozen roses. And my sister Heidi got a dozen roses, except this year I wasn't able to hand her the roses, so I went to the cemetery and I left it at her grave. She's not going to go without. No, my sister won't go without the things I always did. Anyway, I heard a few things I thought was funny. Job at 220. Heard a few things that was kind of funny. Two of them I saw myself. The others I heard about. Based on what I saw, yeah, it's par for the course with him. He said he's all done with the Chevy. It's all done. But the brakes don't work. The interior is a fucking mess. Headline is all fucking shredded up. Seats are all fucking chewed up. But it's all done. Wonder if you ever fixed that vacuum leak. And he ever got around to lubricating the hinges on that door, so every time he opens it, his neighbors won't think he's playing a Yoko Ono record on full blast with all that screeching and squealing. But he said it's all done. But then somebody else told me, said he wants to paint it. Wants to paint it again. He says it's funny. He's standing by the hood, leaning over it. And he takes a piece of fucking emery cloth and he starts fucking all over the fucking hood. Yeah, I want to paint it again. This time, I'm going to put 2 coats of primer and 2 coats of paint. We're just going to be out there outside in the fucking yard with spray bombs of Rust-Oleum with all the wind. Kyle's going to require a lot of masking. Does he have the physical stamina for that? Then he says, what's funny is it's on the hood, Brian. And he's rubbing. He says, yeah, I got to do something about that. It's got a few high spots. He says, and then when the camera moves, you know, when you're looking at over the fender onto the hood, the side, you know, the seam that runs down, you know, that's where they check, you know, alignment. They want, you know, even gaps. He says, even gap, the hood is right. It's got spots, the hood is this far above the fucking fender. You could almost stick your finger in there. You know, looking at the side, the hood is like, the hood is buckled and shit in places. Well, he's good order. What a work to do. Then he said he's going to get to work on some Oldsmobile. It's got a 455, but it's only 2-barrel. He wants to put a 4-barrel on it. So he's going to look around for a 4-barrel intake and a 4-barrel carburetor. And then he said he's going to put headers on it. The exhaust on it now has got a wide pipe. He'll tie into the wide pipe, you know, like with the collectors. You picture him laying on the fucking ground under that thing, tying in a fucking exhaust, the collectors, cutting the exhaust and then tying it. Oh yeah, that ought to be good. That ought to be good for at least a fucking stroke, you know. Oh man. Then he said he doesn't know what kind of rear end it's got in it. So he's going to take a look at the rear end cover. He's going to look at the bolts. I guess this is why everyone's so jealous of him. You know, he knows these things, they don't. He's going to tell what kind of rear end is in it. He's going to look at the bolts. If there's one bolt on the bottom, you know, one bolt on the bottom, it means it's a posi. If there's 2 bolts on the bottom, it means it's a limited slip. Think about that for a minute. Tell me what's a little off in this scenario. I guess maybe he'll let us know how many bolts and what bolt goes where, if it's an open differential maybe, you know. Anyway, I'll tell you, his fucking expertise is amazing. I haven't heard much about Sanford. What's going on? It is. Oh, I went to I went and stocked up on some Uncle Brian lifters for this weekend. What's going on at his New World Global storage shed? Anything exciting yet? Heard Captain Kangaroo was riding around in a beat-up station wagon. His big adventure. I think that bike that Pee-wee rode is a lot cooler than that old fucked up four-door station wagon, but hey, whatever. Got him some views, right? I made him a few bucks, right? Heard the Crypt Keeper's still having this fucking blowout sales, and now he's lowering prices. Oh, I got this block, you know, it can make up to 1,000 horsepower. It's just a block. There's no internals, no guts, just, you know, a bare block. It's going to make all that power here. Wonder if he's got any 318s laying around there that you can make 318 horsepower with one of those too. Yeah, he's pulling out all the stops, trying to fucking sell anything he can. Oh, and Job at 220. I guess he's annoyed. Someone called him a hoarder. He said, he's not a hoarder. He's a collector. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff. It looks like clutter to most people in my house and in my yard. But I'm not a hoarder. Isn't that what all hoarders say? They're collectors. Like the guys on here. You know, they don't have a junkyard in their backyard. They have a fleet of cars. They're a car collector. It's not a junkyard with all them junk. No, I'm a car collector. That's my fleet of cars. Even, okay, can you get in that one and drive me to the airport? Oh, it doesn't run. These guys crack me the fuck up. They really do. They really do. So we say, no, he's upset. People call me a hoarder. I'm not a hoarder. This is a collector. I have things here that I know I'm going to use someday. Yeah, like every fucking obese guy like him that can barely fucking breathe needs 20 girls' bicycles. You know what I'm saying? You wonder why I fucking laugh. Okay, it's that time of the week. You know what I'm going to say? You know what I'm going to say. Have a great weekend. Have fun. Stay safe. And until next time.